Thank you so much for attending my presentation about the best item in Pokemon, and first let's talk about what it does. Heavy Duty Boots, like most other health items, are fairly simple. They block all effects of hazards, including damage, poison from toxic spikes, and speed drafts from Sticky Web. HDB is a fairly recent addition to Mons, meaning that it can't be used in many prior generations. What's interesting about them to me is that they were likely designed for competitive singles. Hazards aren't prevalent in doubles, and are almost never seen in single player, so it's plausible that they decided to try balancing Smogon tiers themselves. Let's start with what Heavy Duty Boots get right. Hazards have been a huge force in past generations. From GC onwards, they've been almost mandatory on each team, and ways to deal with them are vital. For a long time, Rapid Spin was the only option, but the defog buff and introduction of Magic Bounce have given teams more options. While spikes were avoidable with the flying type, Stealth Rocks completely changed everything. All of a sudden, most birds were taking 25% of their health or more on switch-in because of rocks factoring in type weaknesses. Just one rock weakness is brutal, let alone a quad weakness which had you taking 50%. Heavy Duty Boots gave these Pokemon a new lease on life, allowing them to actually play the game. Notable examples of Boots users are Volcarona, Scyther, and Weavile, who all love the extra longevity. Unfortunately, as the GOAT YouTuber reference said, it can't all be baconators and blowjobs. Even though they were at first only used on rock-weak Pokemon, people eventually realized that you might as well just run them on everything. With how strong spikes and stealth rocks are, let alone webs and T-spikes, they often have more value than leftovers. Since switching is so common in singles, nullifying that 12.5% or more is a big deal. Stall teams in particular love Boots, as they tend to switch around a lot and have healing moves that are much better than lefties. Also, for the record, Stall is fine. This is just the best example of HDB being extremely strong. Pivot moves also benefit, as the switches they provide don't have to worry about taking hazard chip each time. Mono Boots teams have become common in Scarlet and Violet, as even Pokemon that quad resist rock like Great Tusk can be seen wearing them. All in all, it can completely nullify one of the most important progress makers in Pokemon, which is a huge shakeup and can be a bit broken. So what, if anything, should be done about it? If one thing's for sure, a ban isn't likely. Item bans have never really happened. The only other example is Soldew, but that's only for the Lotties. Heavy Duty Boots can be run on anything in the game, but something so strong as stopping hazards makes the idea of a ban interesting. A probably more far-fetched idea is a rework straight from Game Freak, maybe where Boots reduce hazard damage without completely nullifying it, but there's a great argument for it not being a big problem, which also makes sense. There's no clear consensus, and probably the best way forward is to keep an eye on it for now. With the DLC finished, we have some time to take a good look at the item and see if it's actually worthy of a ban. In conclusion, Heavy Duty Boots are currently the strongest item in Scarlet and Violet, but the jury's still out on whether they're broken or not. I personally don't want to see them banned, but I see what the pro-ban crowd is saying. They can be pretty damn over-centralizing. Now before I go, I do want to mention that on Tuesday, which is Pokemon Day, I'm holding a 12-hour charity livestream from noon to midnight MST. All proceeds will go towards Care for Gaza. I hope to see you there, and thank you so much for watching.